inverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block, Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to The Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We've got a new number one. We're saying farewell to a very special person in the media. We've got story times and plenty of sport. All that. Much, much more here on The Block.
Standing tall on the wings of my dream. Rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, and nothing's gonna stop me now.
Greeno here from The Starting Block. On behalf of The Block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's gain. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, what's The Starting Block for another week? Always, you've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who sneakily changed the title of this show to a much better one than what I sent him yesterday. My co-captain Damo, how are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, boys, girls, listenership. Thank you for joining us. I didn't know we had a title because I couldn't find a title. Did you send me a title yesterday? I didn't even know. That's why I just made one up.
It's exactly where it normally is, in the header of the email I send you with the rundown.
No, it wasn't, because I'm looking at the header of the email right now. And
the one that I sent you 10 minutes ago, the one I sent you yesterday?
Nah, the one you sent earlier tonight. And it wasn't 10 minutes ago, it was 2.5 hours ago.
It's 2.5 hours ago. They're about
10 minutes, 2.5 hours, close enough, whatever.
Same.
Yeah.
Semantics, really, sir.
Really?
We done the Blockheads Millions bit?
We did that, yeah. We don't really do that anymore. That was old school. These days, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. How you going?
There you go. No one's listening.
How you going, dickheads?
Quick bit of feedback before we start the show, Damo.
Bit of pre-show.
The feedback is, as I walked out to do the show, a bit of advice from the wife.
Yeah.
Less fucks. She's like, all I hear through, as I'm trying to put the kids to bed, as I'm trying to watch TV on a Friday night, is fuck. I'm like, yeah. There's a lot of fucks in the show.
Right.
I can't control it. So that's the feedback. Less fucks. Whether we adhere to the fuckless request or fuck lessening request to be seen, we'll have to do a fuck count.
Was there any kind of like definitive number put on it, or just generally less fucks generally? Because I'd like to know if we are to reduce the number of fucks that we do, Greeno, like what's an acceptable level of fuck on the show?
Fair point.
Is it like, and how do we gauge it? Is it like fucks per minute? Or
well, that's what I'm thinking. Is it fucks per minute, fucks per show, or is it fucks per sentence? So let's say I managed to find a way to speak quicker. Am I allowed an extra fuck if I can throw an extra word into a sentence? You know, but the same like word to minute ratio.
Well, I mean,
so if I could normally say 100 words and I'd normally put 5 fucks in it, can I still do the same 5 fucks, but I have to do 110 words instead?
Yes. Well, and here's what I'm thinking too. Am I allowed to carry over unused fucks? Because I probably would rather collect a few fucks up over the course of the show and then unleash them all at the end or something like that. So if I don't use up, so if like the limit is 5 fucks per minute, what if I do 2 or 3 fucks per minute and then those 2 then carry over, you see?
Carry over to minute 6. Yeah, good call. Now, the other thing as well is like she's only hearing my fucks, right? So so you've got unlimited fucks, I believe.
Okay.
According to the wife's rules.
I've got a green light.
It's more just me. Right. You got a green light, but for me, I've got to reduce the fucks because she can hear the fucks.
Right. So I can just fuck. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
good to go.
You're fine. But what I think, I think then I can then pass over as part of the block family.
Yes.
My fuck allowance over to you, who already has free reign.
So
if you'd usually use, say, 5 fucks per sentence, then you can now take the 2.5 I've got to reduce mine by.
So now 7. We're going to be drowning in fucks here, Greeno.
Yeah, it can be a fuck fest.
Nice, Gary!
Wasting your time here on a Friday night. Welcome to the block. Damo, you sent me this very excitedly today. Well, not excitedly, kind of sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
We like mantles. We like bragging rights. We do enjoy them.
That's true.
Unfortunately, today you had to pass on the very, very sad news of a mantle that we lost to our southern brothers and sisters down there in Victoria.
Yeah, and like you said, I think we did the best we could. The news came out earlier today, Greeno. Victoria has set a national record for daily cases with 1,838 new COVID-19 infections.
Nice,
and I thought,
Gary!
you know what? We like to talk some trash here on the show, Greeno, don't we? We talk a little smack about Victoria.
Superiority,
yeah, definitely our superiority. And, when we started cracking, sort of 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 cases a day, we were
record-setting numbers.
That's right.
Let's not forget.
Exactly. We were like, suck a dick, Victoria. Like, we win again.
We're number one. I think we did a segment. We're number one.
That's right. So you have to give credit where it's due. You got to tip your hat to the Victorians. I commented under this tweet, as a Sydney sider, I have to say respect to you guys. We thought we had you a few weeks ago when we were cracking 1,500 a day, but your boys really toughed it out and earned this one. And I think, congratulations, Victoria.
Well done.
I mean, very commendable numbers. And, sometimes you just got to admit, Greeno, that you've been beaten by the better man,
Well, that's it. You got to suffer those losses, and we'll come back better. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Good news. I reckon, and bold prediction. Nostra Greeno.
Yeah.
With the reopening of New South Wales, fucking early, because we've got a new premier now. So he's like, fuck it, open it up, open that bitch up.
Dom Peritet. Is it Peritet or Perite, Greeno?
Don't know. Haven't bothered looking up his name.
Oh, okay.
He's gone open on up. So prediction within the next 6 weeks, we will beat that Victorian number.
You reckon it's going to be 6 weeks, Greeno?
Within that 6 week period. I'm not saying it's going to be 6 weeks away. I said within that 6 week period, we will obliterate 1800. You heard it here first.
I hope so. I mean, because it would be good to get back on top, wouldn't it?
And I don't want them to have that lead. It's kind of like, when someone takes you over in the middle of the season and they've got the top of the ladder and you're like, fuck, I've got to run them down post origin or whatever.
Yeah.
I think this is our little origin malaise. We're missing our top players.
Yep.
But credit to the new premier. He's gone, look, I'm not going to stand for this fucking record being broken via Victorian.
Yep.
Because those numbers will go up as well. Like they're going to set 2,300, I reckon, in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So they're going to set the bar pretty high. And he's just gone, look, boys, we need to train the house down and get back to it ASAP. We're opening up, fucking go nuts.
Yep.
And we'll get that 2,000 back up there. Quick smart.
Nice, Gary.
I certainly fucking hope so, Greeno. How's this for an idea? I've got a little idea to help things along because, we all like the drama in the press before a game, don't we? We like the mind games, Greeno.
Pre-match wank, as we like to refer to it.
So here's my idea. This is what I'm putting on the table. What if we dedicate Freedom Day in New South Wales to Victoria? We say, we're opening up in your honor, right? Like, we're opening up as a solemn kind of statement of, togetherness and unity. That's why we're going to go out and drink beers today. Okay. We're going to go to the beach. And whilst Victoria has the record of, 1,800 cases, daily cases now, we'll go out and have our picnics, Greeno, and our barbecues and our pub lunches. What do you think about that? And we'll say, this is all for you, Victoria. This is because we love you. Yeah. I think that'd be a great idea, don't you think?
That's it, kind of like a fallen comrade. You're paying respect to post-match.
Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly.
I like
Nice, Gary.
I didn't put in the rundown, but speaking of restrictions, good news, Damo. Troy, our Uni Day reporter, sent this through earlier in the week. He was reading through the restrictions and noticed an interesting new ruling.
Okay.
So a lot of areas still got to do like an area restriction. So, you can only have X amount of people over a certain square footage. So if you go to a pub, you can go to the pub as long as you're vaccinated, but you've got to be like one person per 4 square meters.
Right. So you can't, you're not really going to the pub with anyone at that point. You're just kind of you're all in one big room, but you're not really with anybody. Yeah.
It's a long table. It's a big table. Now they've listed the venues that have to adhere to these rules. So it's, like pub, hairdressers, which is going to be interesting, trying to cut your hair from one 4 square meter away. Yeah. But listed below that,
well, sit tight brothels. Because
brothels allowed to reopen, Damo. Yeah. But here we go. You've got it. Excellent. Intimate services, including strip clubs, sex on premises, and sex services reopen with a density of 1 person per person per 4 square meters. Now, it's an interesting situation. So firstly, strip clubs, okay, understandable. Lap dancers out. Okay, I'm assuming.
No lap dancers, right.
No lap dancers. Sex on premises and sex services reopening with a density of 1 person per 4 square meters. Now, we did the math on this. It means only allowable now guys that have 4 meter dicks.
Nice, Gary.
You know what I'm thinking, Greeno? When you go down to like the Asian rub and tug, Greeno, the Asian massage parlor, she's going to have to jerk you off with a long pair of barbecue tongs, Greeno.
Bit of tongs. Safety first, sir. Yeah. Safety first.
But we'll have to tape some kind of rubber around the tongs because you don't
get
hard
those
metal
rubber
edges, Greeno.
Get the ones with the rubber edges. You're all good. The rubber covers. You ever seen those ones?
Yeah, like they're like salad. They're like salad safety tongs.
Yeah. Salad tongs is recommended. That's the Block's endorsement for the reopening of rub and tugs. We recommend the use of salad tongs
with the rubber on the end of it for safety purposes.
4 meters away.
That's right.
I didn't apply logic to my joke from before. It's gonna have to be your dick's gonna have to be in excess of 4 meters because as soon as it's inserted, you're back inside 4 meter radius.
That's true. Like, so if your dick is 4 meters and it's one person per 4 meters squared,
4 meters.
then basically
As soon as
all
it's
you can
inserted,
do,
it's four.
basically all you can do is touch the tip of your penis to their palm. But you can't go any further than that because that's exactly 4 meters. You know, you can just touch the tip of your penis up against their leg or something, and that's it. You know, you're not allowed to touch it. We should put a little mask on the penis, Greeno, on the end of it.
Actually, you've raised another interesting thought there, Damo. Now, when it says one person per 4 square meters, at what part of the person has to be 4 meters away? Let's say you're into feet, right? Is it just torso? Is it mouth? Like, what's the rule? Am I allowed to get a foot job, if you will, and have that, you know, the length of the foot not included in the 4 square meter rule?
I think you'd be okay as long as you wrap the feet in plastic bags.
Plastic bags? Can I put the rubber thing similar to the salad tongs over the feet?
No.
That's okay. Like make some Crocs. I'll put some Crocs on the feet.
Right. Now, but you don't want to cross-contaminate, Greeno. So whatever's touched the penis, you don't want touching your feet and vice versa, especially with the salad tongs because we're going to need them. I don't have another spare set of tongs in the house. Those are the only tongs we have.
Don't eat the salad buffet at a rub and tug.
Exactly. Yes.
Nice, Gary.
How many rub and tugs have salad buffets in them, Greeno?
I'm assuming more now because they've got all these fucking salad tongs around. So like, hey, we've got the tongs. Let's get the buffet in.
Okay, Big Daddy, you'll want a massage, and I jerk you off, and then you'll come and have a tuna salad sandwich. Okay.
Nice, Gary.
You can have potato. We've got all the salad. We've got potato salad, Greeno.
We got pasta salad. We got coleslaw.
Yeah. So you're laying there face down, Greeno, getting a massage with a bowl of coleslaw in front of you and a spoon.
Now, if this was a regular radio show, this is the point where they'd start calling rub and tugs and asking what kind of salad they're going to be serving on Monday.
Do you have a salad bar?
Yeah. Do you have a salad bar? What? What are you on about?
Yeah. I bet you the one the Patriots owner went to had a salad bar. It's probably one of those fancy ones, Greeno. There's probably
I did have a seafood buffet.
I'd like to think it has like a fucking, is it teppanyaki? what when they stand there and
flick the food.
Yes,
I like it.
That's right. So you're getting your rub and tug as they're flicking the food around next to you.
The food in your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, that's productive use of your time there.
Oh, they got a new chef, did they? Oh. That's a shame. I really liked the last guy. What he used to do with those prawn cutlets, Greeno. Do they still have prawn cutlets on? Do they still have prawn cutlets on the menu or at the rub and tug?
Nice,
do you reckon the food's pre-post or during though? Like, do you reckon it's kind of like you come in, you grab yourself a feed, you go and enjoy yourself, and you duck out.
You grab a plate from as you walk in. As you walk in, the madam hands you a salad plate, a dinner plate.
Your sizzler. You walk in, help yourself serve, sit on down, or you lay down in this case. You have some chow.
Yeah. There's also bottomless creaming soda. You'll be pleased to know. So they hand you a little cup and a plate as you walk in.
Here's the thing. I'm assuming the massage thing, right?
Yeah.
You can put your face through the hole, right? So you can still have your prawn cutlets.
You just get fed through the bottom of the hole there. Yeah.
Go. What are we up to? Victoria number 1. Segment 1. Farewell. We started the show the other week with a farewell to a comedy legend in Norm Macdonald. We're like, what a fucking sad way to start the show. Yeah. This week we started with rub and tugs, getting it off on the right note. But this week we lost another comedy genius in our eyes. We did. I saw the tragic news of the death of Alan Coulter, the former announcer of the David Letterman show, who in himself was an unbelievable performer and someone that we watched thousands and thousands of episodes of Letterman over the years growing up and in our adolescence. And he was a big part of that show. He started the show. He was the first voice you heard and the last voice you heard.
Worldwide pants.
Exactly. So yeah, it is quite sad this week. And once again, similar to what I mentioned in the show when Norm Macdonald passed away. It's not often that someone dies and you spend the whole day laughing because I'm just going to go watch Big Red clips.
Yeah.
In honor of Alan Coulter. And there's so many good ones that were there, hours and hours of his comedic performing genius. But you've got one up here. This will get us pinged on YouTube again, and we get it, but it's worth it.
So exactly. So we're going to do it anyway. Okay.
We can do it anyway. Yeah. Spot on.
No one's watching. No one's watching anyway. So it's always funny when they take one of our clips off YouTube because it's like, well, who are you protecting here? Like,
exactly.
Nobody saw it in the first place.
Exactly. But a quick story I heard about Alan Coulter through the week was from his son, where he was talking about how he didn't actually want to he got offered the job on Letterman, and he didn't actually want to take the job because it meant he was doing advertisements all around the country, going in because they've got individual networks all around the country, right? So he could go and do like 20 different ads, get paid for 20 different ads across the country.
He was
3-4 weeks.
So as a voiceover guy, though, he was a voiceover.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Just go and just be the announcer on the ads. So he was going and doing that. And if he was going to accept the Letterman job, it meant he couldn't go around the country and do these ads every couple of weeks. So he's like, oh, I'm not too sure. And his son pulled him aside and said, Dad, this is the only cool job you've ever been offered. Fucking accept it. So his son was going to convince him to take the job, and he spent 20 years on Letterman. So tip of the hat, rest in peace, Big Red. An absolutely unbelievable performer and a man that made me laugh 1,000 times and will in the future as I watch many more clips. But let's check out some vintage Big Red.
This one is called Dancing with the Stars. And if you've not seen it, it's unbelievable. They get regular people and they dance with the stars and celebrities. And it's fantastic. And it's
Dave.
What I like about it is
That's horse Dave.
What? Excuse me?
I said horse. You heard me, princess. Dancing with the Stars is complete horse. You know, I know they get big ratings, a lot of buzz around the water cooler, but the whole show is a sham. Sorry, Alan, we've already filled up all our slots. No, Alan, I'm afraid you're not a big enough star for us. Forget it, Alan. Audiences don't want to see you shake your sorry ass on TV. Like hell they don't.
Oh, there you have it.
Nice, Gary.
Big Red, Greeno.
Rest in peace, Big
What
Red.
I used to love was the shit like where it was just the random lines that he used to say, like he just come out of nowhere, and well, Dave, we've got somebody in the audience who's very happy to be tonight, and be like, and we all know that all the ladies are here for Big Red, and he'd just smile at the camera, everyone in the crowd go, ooh. He was a fucking clown.
There's like a 50-minute collection of Will It Float I found the other day.
Is there really? That's fantastic.
And his back announcers, like the bits he has in that, where he's just announcing, i.e., like
it's a block of cheese, Dave.
Block of cheese, Dave. What are we playing for? A monkey. A fucking brilliant. Like it's really like very entertaining. Check that out if you get a chance as well.
There you go.
Nice, Gary.
Big Red.
Now, time for some story time, Damo.
Yeah, okay.
I like stories about pinatas.
Sorry.
Now, we've been talking about the Shed debacle for a couple of weeks now. We talked about how
this is week 3 of the Shed ongoing. I didn't know when we started the Shed segment that this was going to become an ongoing serial drama. I thought it was just going to be like a once-off, straight-to-TV kind of, documentary. But now it's turned into this, this riveting story of pain, perseverance, passion, Greeno, and 580 screws, which is just fantastic stuff. So where are we at with this?
It's been a saga. So last weekend, long weekend, right? I'm like, look, we've got the pieces built, we've got the hole dug, we've got the leveling done, we've put down the flooring. all I've got to do, we're now at the point where when I purchased this thing, we watched the video, it said 5 easy steps, right? I think we talked about this on last week's show.
That's right.
Now, the 5 easy steps were all the walls kind of already existing, and you just had to put it up, you had to screw it, and then you're done. You're good to go. So I was like, okay, we're now at the point of the video that I thought I was purchasing. So I'm like, we're down to 5 easy steps. We'll knock this bastard off in an hour. This would be good. We're good to go. Now, Saturday morning, woke up, pissing down rain. So I'm like, ooh, this is not a good start. This is not good. Because already I'm into a long weekend and I'm already a day behind. I wanted the shed built on Saturday, and then I had the rest of the weekend to just enjoy.
Right. Then you could bask. Right? Then you could do those moves, Greeno, where you get like the lawn chair and just face the shed, and you sit down with a beer and look at the shed that you've just built, and just say to yourself, "What a fucking great job I've done here! Look at this."
Shed envy, spot on. Yeah. So Saturday ended up being a complete write-off.
Right.
Couldn't do anything in the shed. So Sunday morning, this is grand final day for the NRL. Mate.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm like, I said to the wife, I'm like, look, we're hauling ass up early. We're starting it early. We're getting it done. We're going to knock it off by lunchtime.
Yep.
We're good. Then from lunch to GF time, sit, bask in the glory of the shed.
Nice,
and then GF beers. Good to go.
Yep.
So started building. Now the 5 easy steps, which on the video take about 6 minutes. Obviously, it was going to take more than 6 minutes.
Yep.
10 hours later. So
Nice, Gary.
10 hours later, the shed itself was finally up.
Wow. So how many collective hours then would you say? Because it wasn't just the 10 hours on grand final day. There were other days before that. So collectively, if you could pull
I'll get to collective total because there's more story time to come.
Oh, okay.
I like stories about pinatas.
So the shed itself, the encasing of the shed is now built 10 hours later.
Right.
But I said, thank Christ, we're done. And then the wife's like, no, we have to anchor it now.
You've got to
and
anchor
I'm like,
it.
Really?
So we've got to throw it off the side of a boat.
Yeah, pretty much. No.
Yeah.
So what you got to do is you've got to drill the shed and anchor it to the ground. Otherwise, like the wind could get it, fly it away.
Yeah.
I mean, the shed's pretty fucking heavy. It'd be sweet. She's like,
I've got to interrupt your story.
I like stories about pinatas.
We definitely, when it comes to your yard, we definitely have to anchor down this shed because you've already lost garden furniture over the fence when it's windy, Greeno.
Correct. Garden furniture, sheds, pets, little children, lost them all. They're all gone. The wind took them.
I was just watching Twister earlier today because I thought, you know what, let's hunt down and like a semi-obscure 90s quote unquote hit movie to watch. Yeah. And I was like, okay,
Helen Hunt.
Yeah, Helen Hunt and the guy who everybody confuses with Bill Pullman.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, that's right.
Nice, Gary.
He's worse than Bill Pullman though, isn't he? Like he was a worse actor. Is he still alive, Bill Paxton, or is Pullman dead?
Both of them are dead, aren't they?
Both are dead.
Both are dead. Someone in the chat. Is anyone in the chat?
There's a couple of people in the chat. Lucas is in the chat. Victor von Schroom is in the chat. Greeno. There's some other people in the chat. So.
I tell you who I have a sneaking suspicion is a big Bill Pullman fan. Victor von Schroom.
Why would you say that?
Nice, Gary.
You reckon Victor appreciates the art that Bill Pullman...
I think he's 100%. I reckon he's got his whole back catalogue in his DVD cabinet.
Just Independence Day is good enough.
Yeah. That's Pullman. Yeah. Not Paxton.
That's not Paxton. No. Paxton's in
Which one's in Casper?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I ever saw Casper, to be honest with you.
What are you talking about? We watched Casper 100 times as a kid because that was hot Christina Ricci as a 10-year-old.
Yeah. She was about 13 then though.
Yeah, which is fine. It's not creepy.
Yeah, it's fine if you're younger, you know.
We were 10 and perving on 13-year-old Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Now, fucking creepy. But I think that's Pullman.
That's Pullman.
Definitely Pullman.
Bill Paxton was
Paxton's
in that.
In Twister.
He was in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis where he's a spy.
True Lies.
True Lies, that's right. He was the car salesman that was trying to fuck her, I think.
Was, yeah.
She's got titties that make you want to stand up and beg for buttermilk.
There we go.
All right, back to your story.
I like stories about pinatas.
Well, said to me, you got to anchor it. I'm like, fuck. At this time, we're about hour before kickoff.
Hour before.
And I'm like, ooh, we're
Clock
cutting this
is
fucking
ticking.
tight.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, it's all good. I've got the brackets. I've got the pegs, and I'm like, all I got to do is I got to screw the brackets in the fucking in the shed. Sorry, I think I've used up one of my fucks there.
And you just did it again, Greeno. You used up a. That's all right. You can take because I'm running at like 3 fucks per minute excess, so you can take a couple of mine. It's fine.
I'll take a couple. So drill the bracket into the shed. Put them in the appropriate spacings. The spacings they advise don't make any sense because they're kind of like halfway through the shed instead of like a third of the way. So I ignore the spacings, do my own spacings, drill those bad boys in. Then I get to the point where
it needs to be addressed like just very typical man behavior. You know, you read the instructions, but you decide to disagree with them. You know, you're like, the person who made these instructions don't know what they're fucking talking about. Meanwhile, it's taken you like 30 hours to do 5 simple steps. And you get to the end and you're like, fuck it. Who cares what the instructions say? I'm going to re-engineer this problem myself. I'm going to come up with a solution, you know. I don't know anything about sheds. You don't know anything about engineering. Yet you fixed it.
Between us, I fixed it. I made it better. Trust me. I made it more secure.
You did very well.
So I get to the point where I'm like, okay, so I put those in. Now I've just got to put the pegs in. Then I'm like, bang, footy beers. Thanks for coming.
Footy beers.
I go to put the pegs in. I realize the holes in the brace brackets are not big enough to fit the pegs that I have. So now I've got to go and drill through 16 individual brackets to make the holes big enough to fit the shed pegs. Now, the brackets I'm doing are like solid steel because it's an anchoring bracket, a solid steel, and a kind of like half a centimeter thick. So I'm sitting there drilling that for 10, 15 minutes per bracket to the point where I'm like, I've got 16 brackets to do. And as I'm doing it, and it's taking me 10, 15 minutes per bracket, I'm watching the clock tick down towards kickoff. And I'm like, in the end, I did 4 of them and said, fuck it, that thing ain't flying away. 4's enough.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
We're good to go.
I got inside, I have enough time to quickly, like, I think I had like 10 minutes before kickoff, good to go.
So that means where you were supposed to have 16 anchoring devices, you've now improved the design by reducing the amount of anchoring brackets by 75%. You've just, cut them right down. You put 4 in. We're doing 4. 4's good enough. I know we're supposed to have 16, but 4 will do because 4, fuck the instructions. Right?
4 was good enough for grand final night.
Good
so
enough.
That meant the next day it was carryover of continued work. So now I'm on to another day of fucking shed work because I had to go back and do the remaining brackets.
So this is now consumed your whole long weekend because you're rolling into Monday now. Right.
I'm now in Monday. I've got the public holiday. I'm meant to be enjoying it. My plan was to watch baseball, drink some beers, have a good time.
Victor von Schroom in the chat, Greeno, says 10 to 15 minutes. What are you doing, Greeno? Using a wood drill.
I must have been. I possibly could have. I'm not very handy, Victor. We've established this. I'm good with numbers, not good with my hands.
So lucky now you've got 2 power drills because you had the one that was tucked away in the drawer. So you can ruin one by using it incorrectly by trying to correct the engineering flaw in your kit shed by screwing the holes into these brackets, Greeno. So which drill did you use? Was it the old one or the new one?
I ended up using the new one because the old one turns out to not have many volts. I wasn't aware of the difference in voltage of the 2 drills.
Okay.
The old one is a 12 volt, the new one's an 18 volt, which meant the old one's a hunk of shit.
It's a hunk of shit.
It doesn't really drill through anything. It's not helpful, and it's just no good. So I ended up doing that. With that said, though, I did manage to snap about 6 different drill bits from the old drill set just from putting too much pressure on snapping them. So day 3 comes about of the long weekend, finally drill all the holes. Then the wife points out that the doors don't open properly. So I'm like, so now we got to sit there and fucking reshow. So I've got it all done. I've banked the fucking thing. And now we can't open the door because the grass is too high because we had to do it at an angle. So now we're going to sit there and now we're landscaping again. So we finally fucking unshovel the thing, shovel it out, respread it out. Then the thing's finally done. then I had to sit there so then I got to bask, Damo. I got to sit there and bask in the collective joy that is the shed finally built. Put all the shit in it. That by then, that's now taken up all of day 3 between the drilling, the landscaping, the moving all the crap from the garage I wanted out of the garage into the shed. I'm now closing the door and it's 5 p.m. and I've used my whole long weekend. So it gets back to your question of how many hours I spent. I think I've spent collectively, that was about 8 whole days. And I was doing like 10 to 12 hours per day, man. I worked hard on this thing. So do the math. I spent close to 100 hours on this prick of meant to be a 5 easy step shed.
100 hours. Wow.
Now, to add insult to injury, don't get me wrong, I was happy with the shed. It looks fucking nice. It's all done. Beautiful. The landscaping is all sweet.
Yep.
To add insult to injury, the amount of pressure I had to put down to drill through this hole has busted ligaments in my thumb. So I can't lift my kids with my right hand because my thumb is shot. Now, to add further insult to injury, because I was in the sun for like 12 hours back-to-back days and I didn't bother putting sunscreen on because I thought it was only going to take me like 5 minutes. I got burnt, or like I had a hat and shit on and I was wearing clothes, but like my arms got all burnt, my neck got all burnt and whatnot, which I can deal with. But what it ended up doing is it gave me delayed heat stroke.
What?
And so what happened is Wednesday, what day's today? Friday. Wednesday night, I'm sitting there putting my kids to bed and I just felt a bit weird. And I looked down at my chest and I turned bright red and I started like swelling up. And it was like I was Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka after I'd eaten the fucking blueberry bubble gum.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I ate a raspberry one and I turned out all red and had welts and shit.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
Spot on. My whole back ended up doing the same. It tightened up. So it was like I had sunburn on my back and my chest, even though I didn't have sunburn on my back. So I couldn't move. Everything was itchy. I was getting welts. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with my body there?
Days later. Right.
This is days later, delayed reaction to severe sunburn on my neck from the fucking shit.
And it now means that the shed has not only occupied your whole long weekend, it's now extending its reach into your, the rest of your week.
My Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, correct.
It's ruined your whole week, this shed.
This afternoon is literally the first time I've been able to move my back, and I still can't move my thumb.
Now, are you at the point where every time there's like a little bit of wind kicking up, Greeno, and you're at home, like let's say you're in the garage and a little bit of wind kicks up and the garage door just kind of does that thing where it's like, you know what I mean? Just it starts rattling a little bit. Are you now shitting bricks at the thought that the shed may fall apart or the roof may fly off and go into next door's yard or something? Like, how confident are you with your handiwork, especially considering that you ignored the instructions?
Well, we actually had severe winds the night after I anchored it.
Were you nervous as fuck? Were you watching? Were you just standing in the lounge room and just watching it all night through the window?
Well, the wind was so loud it woke me up at 2 a.m., right?
Oh,
and the wife woke up too. And she turned to me and she's like, should we go check the shed? And that was our first thought. Should we check the shed? I'm like, let's let the gods decide. Let's just let the gods decide. If the shed is there in the morning, then we have done it. And thankfully, the shed is still there.
If the shed is there in the morning, it's because God wanted it so, Greeno.
Exactly. Time for a break.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later, Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVshow.com.
Yes, welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us, the best way to do so would be via the little blue bird. Follow Greeno at the starting block. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. Greeno, I know how much, I'm just going to go off topic here. I'm just going to come out of the gates. Something I want to point out. I know how much you enjoy, Greeno, important celebrity news. I think that's a fair thing.
Nice, Gary!
I lap it up. Absolutely lap it up.
Yeah. Because, you know, we're living through a lot of things right now. We've got COVID going on, obviously. There's vaccine science deniers out there, Greeno, who are basically like terrorists. We've got to be aware of them. We've got climate change. That's very important. Donald Trump came out today and apparently said that all the Haitian migrants that are coming in, apparently they have AIDS, apparently. He said, made a public statement, which I thought, what is he doing out there? What is he doing? But anyway, we've got all of these important things going on, Greeno. And then I just happened to glance at like the trending, you know how sometimes on the trending part of your Twitter feed on your PC or what have you, it brings up
Can I hazard a guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Has this got anything to do with Jennifer Aniston?
No, it's got nothing to do with Jennifer Aniston. Actually, for the first time ever, Jennifer Aniston is not the center of the gossip community. No, this is different. So you know how sometimes on your trending thing, it'll bring up what was trending like yesterday? It says, you know, this was happening yesterday. So this is what apparently was a big story on Twitter yesterday, Greeno. And I'm only bringing it up because I know you enjoy celebrity news. Meghan Trainor defends her side-by-side couple's toilet with husband Daryl Sabara. Greeno.
Nice, Gary!
And just show you the first.
They can piss together.
So Meghan Trainor, apparently she had to put out a tweet after this story came out that apparently, you know, they have his and her toilet and they sit side by side. And she wrote, to clear things up, we pooped once together and we laughed and said never again. But he will hang out with me if I'm shitting because we soulmates, Greeno.
No. Whoa.
And I legit, hang on. And I legit miss him when I'm away from him and we pee together, obviously. This is the big important, this is the trending. Nice, Gary! The trending news, Greeno, on Twitter.
We need to deep dive in the story.
Yeah, we're going to analyze this. Yeah, there's a lot to, as you would say, Greeno, there's a lot to unpack here. Yeah, exactly.
If you will, good use of phrase there. Yeah. Now, firstly, when you say side by side toilet, is there a petition in between? Is there any specifics on the setup? Is there a photo of the toilet where we can see the toilet setup? Because if it's two, there's the Jennifer Aniston news.
Oh, there is too. Jake Gyllenhaal says filming with Jennifer Aniston was, quote, torture. Yeah, okay.
There we go. So yeah, I need to see a picture of the toilet. I need to see the picture of the bathroom.
I think that's there.
That's literally just two toilets side by side. Then now, if there's a petition in the middle, I find that a little less weird. All right. if they're literally are just two bowls side by side,
Yep.
pants down, bog flowing, that's not healthy.
What if the petition between the two toilets, Greeno, was just a clear screen, like a shower screen?
No, that doesn't count. No. I'm thinking like a teal kind of like
shower curtain.
It's got to be non-visible. We need no sight happening between the two bowls.
It needs to be like one of the curtains at a hospital in between the beds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just slide it out. And then like when if you're not shitting, let's say you're just pissing, then you can have the curtain open, you see. So you can talk.
So even then
you can have a chat to the other person.
You can chat with the curtain there.
Yeah, that's true.
Like similar when you go to like a cubicles side by side with your mate, you can still chat about it at the pub.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think about that half? Yeah, blah blah blah. But you've got your privacy. It's all good.
Well, what about the urinal though? So guys will stand, next to each other a couple of feet apart and piss at the same time. Why wouldn't you piss at the same time as your beloved, Greeno?
Well, I don't.
You piss with strangers. Oh, so you're not a urinal person at all.
I'm not a urinal dude. The only time I'll use a urinal is if there's
piss
literally
alone.
no other option. 100%.
Don't
we need to get some girl jump. No, I think we're wrong. I've got my pressure's fine. Yeah. It's more if I have the option to not be side by side with another man holding his dick urinating, I'd rather take that option. So I'm a cubicle man person. But if I'm at a big event and the only option to piss is at a urinal, well, I'll do that. But it's definitely not a preference.
Okay.
If I was making this place, like if I see 7 open cubicle stores and there's one dude standing at a urinal, I'm not going to go shoulder to shoulder with that dude for the fun of it.
That's the greatest move when like the whole bathroom is empty except one person at the urinal and you go and stand right next to them.
Yeah,
start pissing.
I don't like that dude. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
My next thought is she said, it was weird when they shat together. Now, but he sits next to her while she takes a dump or vice versa.
Yes.
That is the exact same. It doesn't matter if one person is or isn't using their bowels. That is still as weird as both people going and saying, if anything, it's more creepy. Because he's making a choice to be in the bathroom without having to be in there.
Right.
Whereas at least if you're both using the facility simultaneously, the guy or the girl has a purpose.
Yeah. And so, and if we're going to go and sit next to our beloved whilst they're taking a shit, Greeno, why can't I have like a recliner or something in here? Why does it have to be another toilet? Why can't I have something a little more comfortable, like a gaming chair? We could have a gaming chair sitting across from the toilet.
Why does he have to be in the bathroom? Can't he have that conversation outside the bathroom?
Maybe through an intercom system.
Through an intercom system, correct. That way she won't feel like they're separated or alone.
That's right.
And they still get the privacy of, bathroom activities.
I'm just about done here. I'm just about done here, Sally. Can you send in the cleaner, please? Send in the secretary.
What was the final one? They do urinate together. Now,
Nice, Gary.
Is that a better or worse thing? Like, obviously, there's an odor issue. Let's put asparagus aside.
It could be very awkward, embarrassing.
Yeah. Like once again, what if there's sneaky farts that come out mid piss? Like it still has similar issues. I think the urination together as well. Probably avoid that.
Avoid that at all costs. Yeah, but there you go. They're a happy couple, Greeno. And,
I'm glad we spent 5 minutes analyzing that.
She defended the use of the side-by-side toilets because that's what celebrities do these days. They go on Twitter. They go on Twitter and they talk about how much they enjoy pooping with their husband.
Yeah, with their husband.
Yeah, and they tell us about their bodily functions.
I'm glad that was newsworthy.
Yep. It was trending.
Definitely.
It's very popular. It was trending, Greeno, yesterday.
What are we up to?
I don't know.
I haven't even looked at the rundown. Here we go. Hero or douchebag.
Hero or douchebag. Okay.
Actually, quick opening the kimono.
Yeah.
You'll notice we're going to start talking about sports content now, which is very unlike us, right? Because I looked at the show last night, quickly went to put it together, and I'm like, I'm surely I've got a whole bunch of gear for the show. And I had like 3 sports stories. That was it. And I'm like, well, looks like we're doing 2 segments of sport. That's what happens. Now, this one is a hero or douchebag, Damo. Let's check out this video and see if you think this guy, hero or douchebag.
Okay.
Right, so for our podcast listeners,
Yeah.
the video is basically it's a punt holder who, as he gets the punt, he knows the camera's right in front of him.
Uh-huh.
So as he's holding the ball for the punter to kick it, he's giving the camera a bit of a, what do you refer, a bit of a pointed finger, a bit of a thumbs
Nice,
up.
Gary.
There, in blue steel.
Yep. Yeah. A little bit of, hey, how you doing? You know?
Hey, how you doing? Now, I'm going to put this guy down as a hero because it paid off.
Yes.
The guy still kicked it and he managed to hold it. Now, if he dropped the ball, would have been much funnier.
Yes, if you
Then he
fuck
would have
up,
been a douchebag.
if you're going for a
Yeah.
showboat move and you fuck it up,
Mhm.
you'll get more attention than if you go for a showboat move and nobody sees it. Like, you know,
Correct.
so but this is a good little showboat move. And I've actually discovered something here, Greeno. Watch his eyes very carefully because as the ball gets kicked, if you'll notice here, he actually winks at the camera right there. Look at that. As the foot makes contact with the ball, he winks at the camera.
Nice, Gary.
So he's an absolute hero. I guarantee I guarantee you though, there's got to be like a whole bunch of people who go, oh, yeah, that kind of showboating, that has no place in football. You know, back in my day, there's going to be a lot of that kind of shit going on, I think.
There'll definitely be that. I think the guy's a hero too. I'm with you. I think that's a quality move.
Yeah.
It's college football. Those guys aren't getting paid.
No.
Well, he's having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Well, not on the books anyway.
Yeah, that sports car wasn't free, Greeno.
No, mate. That's all off the books. That was a donation. That's fine.
Sounds like someone's got a boat in the garage. Eh?
Bit of the storms about it. Damo, you know what else pops up whenever I'm a bit light on content? Jim M-Word story of the week.
Story of the week. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't have
Where's the
Jim's
big Jim
fucking
music?
Hang on. Yeah, can you wait like 5 seconds and then throw to me again with that?
All right, we'll come back to the Jim M-Word story of the week. Big thanks, as always, to Jim, who sends through quality content week in, week out.
He does.
Sometimes I look at the rundown and go, look, I just don't have any space for it. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't have any space for it. This week, plenty of space. Big Jam.
Big Jim. All right.
Big Jam story of the week. Have you got the clip up?
I do. Let's have a look here.
What are you going to do with that money if you win?
Well, I'm definitely going to get a new supercharged Mustang with dual exhaust.
And wait, can you pause that while we give some backstory of this?
Yeah, please.
So this is a $685 million Powerball winner in the US, and he happened to get in there, put his face on TV so they can kidnap his kids. And they're asking him, hey, you got 685 mil. What are you going to do with that money?
How many millions did he win?
685 million.
Wait, did he win or is this like, what would you do if you won?
No, he won it.
Did he really?
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. What would he do if he won it? My apologies.
Okay. Yeah, because he doesn't look like, to me, like he's living the $685 million lifestyle, Greeno.
Okay,
she's talking to him she's talking to him in a gas station.
Yeah, but I thought it was one of those situations where he'd won it and he was like, hey, here's where I bought the ticket. You know, they like doing that photo up the front.
Yeah.
Like, here's where I won the ticket.
Holding the big novelty check.
Yeah, 100%. So this is what he would do with it, which makes a bit more sense because I'm like, I agree with you. I'm like, this guy won 685. This doesn't look good.
Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, let's see what he'd do. Anyway.
What are you going to do with that money if you win?
Well, I'm definitely going to get a new supercharged Mustang with dual exhaust and about 5 kilos of cocaine, and I'll be good to go.
Nice, Gary.
Fantastic. 5 kilos of cocaine.
5 kilos.
Yeah.
That's a good segue into segment 7. I'm going to skip segment 6 and we'll come back to it.
Skipping that.
Bit of NRL sniffy update, sir.
Okay.
So last week we reported on the Melbourne Storm players who were basically busted with on video, Mad Mondays, with chopping up some white powder with a credit card.
Yeah.
And not a good look. No, plenty of sniffy happening in the league. Yeah. So this week, during the week, as is protocol, you got to come out, you got to do a public apology.
Yep.
You got to look like you're remorseful. Like
you've got to have your picture taken, like with a baby or a puppy.
Just
so you can...
that'll come in a couple of weeks. Trust me, not quite this week. This week's just remorse.
Yes.
Generic apologies, denials where you can,
Yep. This week
and
is all
playing
about
dumb.
repeatedly making statements like, "No, look, I know what I've
Out of
done.
character.
Yeah, it's out of character for me. It's not something I would normally do. I've let everybody down, and I'm going to take my fair whack, and I'm going to work extra hard in the future." It's a week for that, Greeno, for that kind of.
Yeah, well, can I also get you to make another prediction of a comment that would have been made in this scenario? Now, you don't know anything about the story because you don't watch much NRL stuff.
No.
Can I also get what would be a next step to take after this as well in PR 101?
So after we come out and admit, after we come out and apologize and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the very next move would be to say something like, well, this is caused by mental health issues and we need to respect the privacy of the athletes. Am I on them? Am I close?
You're fucking very close.
Nice, Gary!
Cameron Munster, rehab.
Rehab.
Nice, Gary!
Nice.
Going to a rehab still in the off season in Bali is my guess.
Oh no,
Yeah,
there's even more drugs here. What the hell are we doing?
That's where the footy players go for their rehab. They go to Bali.
Yeah.
But this was genius by the Melbourne Storm, however, because they could have taken. We gave Reece, what's the guy? Reece Walsh, sorry, from the Warriors last week. A nice Gary, because he actually owned up to his coke thing. He's like, look, it's on me. Yeah, man, I got busted. My bad. Fucking, I'm a 19-year-old kid. Yeah, you caught me doing it. I'll like, apologies. Definitely my fuck up. The Storm went a different route. The Storm said they do not know what the white powder substance was.
Oh, no.
Players were too intoxicated to remember and were not drug tested. So let me get this right.
Yeah.
They were just randomly chopping up a white powder with a credit card. They didn't know what it was.
And they were snorting it, apparently.
And they were snorting it. Didn't know what it was, though. And they can't remember what it was. They can't remember the dealer rocking up. They can't remember paying for the drugs.
And the
They
club.
can't remember yet.
And the team that they play for comes out and says, well, we can't prove that it was cocaine. Like, it could have been anything, really. It could have...
No one thought to drug test the guys within 24 hours, considering the video was released the day that they were doing the drugs. They waited 4 days for the drugs to get out of their system before they came out to make these comments.
What fucking balls, though, Greeno? Like, from a PR point of view, seriously, fucking balls the size of fucking bowling balls, Greeno. To when the video is out there of the players snorting fucking coke, right? The video is out there. It's gone viral. You come out and say, look, please, guys, nobody knows what that stuff was. Nobody can prove that it was. What fucking balls? We have no evidence to suggest that that was in fact cocaine. It's like, we're watching the video of the guys fucking snorting it. We're watching it. Look, funny things can be done with video manipulations these days. No, it's coke. We don't know that it's cocaine. I mean, fucking, I'm going to give him a nice Gary, Greeno.
That does take some balls.
Fucking
and Cameron Munster, his rehab stint, not for drugs though. Yeah. He's like, look, I'm going to rehab to address my issues with alcohol because he can't admit that he's got fucking a coke problem. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's the beers I had, not the nose beers.
That's like so he gets not the nose beers. So he gets caught using the nose beers, Greeno. And he's like, you know what? I admit it. I'll put my hand up. I've got a problem with beer.
Nice, Gary!
And he goes, that's like, that's right. That's like being arrested for rape, Greeno, but they throw you in prison for an unpaid parking ticket. Right? Like, well, look, I'm going to go away and I'm going to work on my drinking problem. It's like, should we mention the nose beers at all? Or should we... Did you put that on the form of at the rehab center?
Can't prove there was nose beers.
Can't prove it was cocaine.
That could have been anything they were cutting up with a credit card on the table. So
it was actually malt, Greeno, from a home brew kit. That's how much.
Exactly.
I just love the the nose home
that
brews.
That was actually salt to go with the tequila because we were like drinking problem.
Nice,
That would have been more fucking plausible than saying we don't know what it was. We're too drunk. Go, no, that shit was just fucking salt. Like, trust me.
No. We were doing lip sip sucks, and we were really getting into it. And that big part that I was just snorting the salt up, you see, because
that's how we do it.
That's right. And we thought it was a good idea because we'd spent all afternoon taking coke. We'd spent all day on the nose beers. So we thought we'd have some tequila shooters instead. And that's why I've got a drinking problem.
For the tequila. We got a lemon problem.
You can't prove it was tequila.
You can't prove it was lemon.
You can't.
That could be anything. That could have been a nectarine.
Could have been a grapefruit, Greeno. Imagine
could
that.
Have been grapefruit, exactly. I missed an opportunity here. I could have denied it all. He could have been in rehab for a grapefruit program.
Look, there's no evidence these guys play for the Melbourne Storm. There's no evidence. There's no evidence that we're a real football team. Just because there's video out there of us playing doesn't mean we exist. You know.
Yeah, the video. It's all circumstantial evidence.
Oh, fuck.
Speaking of NRL court dates, we might as well hit this one again while we're on it. Then we'll get to the trophy. Well, this week.
Hang on. Start that again.
He's been coming for a little while. New Zealand Warriors former player Manu Vatuvei has been admitted to importing methamphetamine in court in New Zealand. Will be sentenced later this year.
Oh, scary. Is there any evidence that it's actually methamphetamine? Or?
No evidence. You can't prove that it was methamphetamine that he imported. Well, actually, it sounds like they can. Based on the fact that he's been found guilty.
Apparently they have these things. Apparently they have these things called drug testing kits. Have you heard of these things? Melbourne Storm. There's no such evidence to suggest that there's a drug testing kit available. That's why we didn't test them, because they got a drinking problem. Yeah.
We waited exactly the amount of days that we knew to be out of their system, then we tested them.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence. It was a coincidence, Greeno. Yeah. Yeah, because of COVID, you see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of lockdown.
Yeah. They're sniffing a lot because they've had some COVID tests.
That's right.
Irritated. Such a fucking dumb cunt. So, let's get to the NRL Trophy Day. Man, congratulations to the Penrith Panthers who won the premiership over the weekend. Some weird symmetry from 30 years ago. They lost the 1990 grand final, won in 91, and then last year they lost the 2020 grand final, won in 2021. So there's a nice symmetry there.
There you go. Yes, very good.
But the boys, they've had a bit of an interesting week this week. Firstly, put the camera down, boys, because cameras and phones. Stop fucking doing that. Because convicted sex pest Tyrone May decided, here's a good idea. I'm gonna jump on Twitter straight up, or Instagram, one of the two, after the grand final, and talk about fuck the haters. You guys tried to bring me down, blah, blah, blah. And here I've got my victory. Now, by bringing him down, he was convicted in court of illegally filming women whilst having sex with them and distributing it to the public. Not too sure that's really bringing him down when you're a convicted sex pest. So that's one aspect. Then he had his mates kind of supporting it. Once again, not a good look. Then, there was more bullshit happening. Now, this popped up today. It's been a rough week where photos have emerged of basically they fucked up the trophy.
Okay.
They've won the grand final trophy.
So this is like is like the Super Bowl. Is it a cup or a shield, or what do they win, Greeno? It's a cup.
This is a trophy, isn't it?
Yeah, ours is a trophy, but it's basically like the Super Bowl trophy, whatever that is.
Yeah,
I know what it is. It's that weird. It's that
yeah.
football on a kicking tee, isn't it, or something? Yeah,
sort of. Yeah, it's a square, the Lombardi trophy.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the Panthers. It looks like they've completely fucked up this trophy.
They've gone on tour with the trophy. They've gone on a drinking tour with the trophy.
What you do?
Yeah,
you make love to the trophy.
That's right.
You poop side by side with the trophy.
That's right. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it.
The NRL has asked the Panthers for a please explain after photos emerged on social media of the premiership trophy broken and being carried in a pram and a shoulder sling by players.
Give them a nice Gary.
Nice Gary!
Because if you fuck up the trophy and then here's a good idea, let's whack it in a pram and put it in a baby sling.
A baby sling.
That deserves a fucking tip of the hat.
They're walking around with a trophy in a baby sling.
That's making the most of a bad situation. The trophy's broken, but we're going to take care of it. We're going to nurse it back to health.
Panthers break trophy. And so that's the thing. Now for every team after this, it'll be the repaired fucking, it's a repaired trophy now. It's not the same. They've forever tainted it now for everyone else. So they were the last team to hold the trophy before it had to be fucking resurrected, Greeno, before it had to be repaired. Now it's not the same. Now it's a restored trophy. It's not the trophy.
Isn't it their trophy though? Like they don't just give the same trophy each year and pass it on. Like
I think
everyone gets the trophy.
No, I think what happened, they might get another one, but they they get to have the actual trophy like at the club for the year until the next grand final. I think that's what happens.
I think everyone gets a trophy. Like you get the trophy, that's a trophy you get. They build a new one for the next year.
No, I don't
because
think
they keep on
that's the way it
changing.
goes.
They keep on changing the way it looks. They keep on changing it depending on the sponsor is. It's always a new trophy. I swear to God.
Is it? Well, that must be recent because it used to be the way I'm describing. I'm sure of it.
It might have been back in the 80s and 90s, but I swear everyone just gets their trophy. So they've broken their own trophy. It happens.
Who cares? Well, then this is a non-fucking story. Then who cares?
They've been on the piss for 7 days straight.
Yeah,
Like, what do you think?
and maybe potentially the nose beers, Greeno.
Nose beers, perhaps. Who knows? We don't know what's going on. We can't prove anything.
No, we don't
Do
even know.
that's. Is that the trophy?
Do we
Before
even
we go
know?
to a break,
Do we even know if that's even made out of metal at all, Greeno? I mean,
do you even know that wasn't broken when they got it? You can't prove anything.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like I was just gonna listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No.
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Welcome to The Starting Block. Follow on Twitter at The Starting Block. Drop the K at the end. Find the podcast on iTunes or on tavshow.com.
Yes, back in the luck, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I leave it later and later to come back in. I'm worried I'm going to run out of time, but
It's working.
fucking that thing keeps on coming in. It just goes forever, that back intro. Damo, sent you this today.
Yeah.
AFL suspension. What the fuck? Now, have you ever seen in your life a suspension where a suspension was handed out and then like a couple of weeks later they come back and go, nah, fuck it. Let's change that amount. We're going to double it.
I can't remember one, but I'm sure it must have happened at some point. Sure. So basically, what happened was, they make these things unnecessarily fucking complicated. So the MRO, which is like the match review, whatever. I don't even know what the O stands for, Greeno. Do you know
Organization
what
is, I guess?
Organization, could it be? I don't know. Anyway, the MRO, the match review people, they said, oh, look, basically, we don't want to make a ruling on this, because what happened is he walked off the field, Toby Green, the standing captain for the Giants last year, he walked off the field and kind of bumped into the umpire as he was walking past.
Barely touched him. Yet they had to find like JFK style shooting angles. It was Zapruder film that fucking had to convict Toby Green on this one to prove that there was an actual contact.
Yeah. Like if you look from here, like from the book depository, Greeno, across the road, if you see the grassy knoll, Greeno, you can see there that Green makes slight contact with the umpire's arm. Just at that moment.
The win from Megan Trainor's ass out of her half of the toilet to her husband's would have caused more impact to this dude's shoulder than what Toby Green did.
That's right. So they said, look, we'll give him 3 weeks and we'll see what happens. Now, the AFL, the governing body, then appealed this because they said 3 weeks isn't good enough. We need to suspend him for more. So the AFL went to appeal, and that in which case it then goes to the tribunal. And that's like a full legal setting. So basically what happened was he wasn't even there for this, right? So basically this is ridiculous to me. You had like 2 QCs, Queen's Counsels, basically arguing with each other about how long a player should be suspended for bumping into an umpire. And, you know, it turns out apparently they said, okay, on appeal, we'll make it 6 weeks. The funny thing to me was like, you know, I don't even know if that's wrong. I'm not sure that it is. Okay, if the penalty is 6 weeks, then it's 6 weeks. But it's so ridiculous to have like these drawn out legal proceedings and stuff. I'm a fan of mandatory minimums when it comes to sport. You know what I mean? Like, how about we make this rule?
You're going for 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you
touch an umpire, see that creates an interesting thing, because if he gets 6 weeks mandatory minimums for this, if he shivers him, does he still only get 6?
Yes, exactly.
No.
That's exactly.
So you might as well go the full shiv.
You stole my gag. You stole my gag.
Sorry.
So I was going to say, so now you could fuck his wife, Greeno. And you'll only be rubbed out for 4 weeks.
I didn't realize you were setting up to a joke there. My apologies.
That's all good.
I think you're making a legitimate point. Like, man, mandatory minimum.
What are you talking about? Now you could murder him on the field, and you'll only get 6 weeks. But you'll also get 2 weeks. You'll also get 2 weeks for bringing the penknife tucked into your ass crack. You know, so you stab him in the neck. They drag him away. He's pissing blood everywhere. They drag him away. Now, there's no send-off rule in AFL, Greeno. So you could butcher him with a hatchet on the field, and they wouldn't be allowed to take you off the field until the end of the game. You'd have to.
Interesting question for you though, Damo. Is there a double jeopardy rule when it comes to these proceedings? Like if you stab the goal umpire, can you only, if you stab the field umpire as well, can you not be convicted of the same mandatory minimum? Because you're like, well, I've already stabbed one. I've just stabbed an umpire, but I've just done it twice.
Yeah,
it's 6 weeks no matter what. So no double jeopardy.
I think you would get 2 counts of 6 weeks for that, Greeno.
See, that's disappointing.
Yeah, 2 counts of touching an umpire.
Yeah, with a shiv.
With a shiv.
Yeah. Damo, any updates? Great Trade Week Radio. Melbourne getting it done with the fucking COVID cases, but has anything happened in a week of talk in AFL Trade Week? I always look to you.
Yeah, very little. Very fucking little.
It's literally been over a week of Trade Week Radio, 2 weeks almost, and nothing's gotten done.
Yeah, and I'm consuming like on a daily basis, more or less. Like I don't always get the full 2 shows in. You understand, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 1.5. Sometimes I only hear 1. Sometimes I hear half of each. Right, stuff like that. So I'm consuming though like roughly 4 hours a day of trade radio through the podcast, Greeno, while I'm at work and stuff. Now,
you're at work, it's sweet.
You're right. Most of the deals that have happened are really just like it's becoming a pick fest, a pick trade fest. And I think to be fair, so all the deals are like, we trade pick 45 and 49 for pick 22, and then we trade pick 22 for a future second rounder, a future third rounder, and a late first rounder in next year's draft. It's all that kind of shit. There has been a couple of players move. A guy named Adam Chera has moved from Freo to Carlton, and he was like a top 10 draft pick 3 years ago. So that's probably like the biggest name. Actually,
have to ask though, what did it take to get that done?
Well, see, it's going to take at least pick number 6, Greeno, to get that done. And I think it was a straight swap, pick 6. Interestingly, though, so the reason I think there's a lot of picks being traded around is because of COVID. They haven't been able to see like the young guys play the last 2 years.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So nobody.
Yeah, haven't been able to do interstate travel, eh?
Right. So I think everyone's trying to load up, unless you've got an eye on an established player now. And except for like the first 25 in the draft who will probably stand out. And then after that, it probably you're taking a bigger risk after that because they're more unknown quantities, right? So I think a lot of these teams are trading for future picks instead, because like maybe they're hoping that next year we get to see a better draft or something like that. But interestingly, do you remember a guy who played for the Giants a few years ago named Rory Lobb?
No.
He's like this huge fucking guy. Super tall, got really long arms. He could clunk a lot of like contested marks. I think one year he had the most contested marks in the league. Anyway, he took a big money deal to move to Freo 3 years ago. And yesterday on the trade talk, getting it done, Greeno, apparently he now wants to come back. He wants to come back to the Giants. So
what's it going to take to get this done?
What are we going to have to do to get this done? Now, he's on like $750 or something at Freo. He's not fucking worth $750.
No. Well, there's got to be. We're gonna have to throw in some cash to get that done.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tip it. Maybe we might have to tip a player out to get it done, Greeno.
You reckon tip out to get it done?
We might have to trade. They're talking
tip out,
about
cash in.
Yeah,
player in, player out, cash in. Get it done.
Give me 200 kicker, Greeno. How much?
We do two. No. Here's what I'm proposing to get it done, Damo. I reckon you're doing 750. I reckon the guy's about a 400 player, right? So what we do he is a 400 player the way he's been playing the last couple of years. He is a 750 player if he plays well, but he hasn't. So you're only as good as you're playing. Spot on. So here's what I propose to get it done.
Okay.
We get him. Yeah. There's a 250K kicker, right? So now we're down to 500.
Yeah.
So 500 there. Now what we do is we send over a 200K player. With another 100 cash.
Yep.
But the value of that player is probably only worth about 100.
Okay.
So we come out net zero. That'll get it done.
This sounds needlessly complicated.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect for AFL draft radio, right?
Nice.
We just wasted 3 minutes talking about something that's never going to get done.
Can we throw in a future second round draft pick as well? Why? Because just to make it more complicated.
There's risk associated with the second round draft pick. I personally prefer a third. Third round.
Third rounder.
Given the circumstances of that, can we get the agent on the line? We need the agent on the line just to find if they feel we need to get a third round draft.
All jokes aside, I watched a movie a couple of weeks ago. You've probably seen it, Greeno, and I fucking hate Kevin Costner, but I really liked this movie. It's called Draft Day.
You watched Draft Day?
Yeah.
Fuck me, I love that movie.
It was a good movie. Unfortunately, it doesn't strike me as the kind of movie you can watch twice and enjoy it the same like another movie. But because now you know all the twists and turns. So
yeah, it's still a good movie when you watch it back. But yeah. Dante Mack #1, no matter what, baby.
So that wasn't a true story or anything, though, was it?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Nah, all fiction. See, because I hate Jennifer Garner.
But it's a real team, though.
In that movie. Yeah, it's a real team.
Yeah,
but
that's what threw me off. Yeah.
But really, I love that movie. I watched that literally every NFL draft. I watched that movie. It's a good film.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Nerd.
I don't know. It was pretty good. It's not as good as Moneyball, which is in a similar.
No. Moneyball's pretty cool. We love Moneyball. We watch that frequently.
Yeah. At least twice a year, I watch Moneyball.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Because once again, it's not a baseball film. It's just a good movie.
That's right.
It just happens to be about baseball. But yeah, Draft Day, very, very good. Dennis Leary, how can you go wrong as the angry coach?
Yes, exactly. Brian Drew runs my offense like a pro. I hate rookie quarterbacks because they fucking don't know anything. They choke. They're stupid. They're scared. I was like, fucking fair point. Anyway,
It is very good.
What the fuck are we
Yeah,
talking
good for-
about here, Greeno?
I like stories about pinatas.
No. I'm excited because it's been a while since we've done these. Because I've talked about this plenty on the show. I now refuse to watch or read any mainstream news or media. Right?
You're out. You're
So
done.
I don't listen. I don't listen to radio.
Had enough.
I don't read any news. Anything on Twitter that
You're probably a very happy person as a result, Greeno.
Mate, 100%. I used to get so angry at these things. Now it hasn't phased me because 5 years or 4 years ago, I just stopped doing it. Now,
So
what
you've
happened as a
taken
result?
the attitude, let the world burn around me. I'm going to enjoy my fucking hamburger and beer on the couch.
It's all horseshit anyway. So
Yeah.
fuck it. Why am I subjecting myself to it? So as a result, what happened is But That's Not Rugby Leagues on our show dissipated. We used to have like 10 a week.
That's right.
Where I was listening to radio, I was reading stuff, I was on like reading newspapers. It was just But That's Not Rugby Leagues everywhere. So now when they pop up, they're kind of like
extra
little
special.
unicorns. Yeah, they were little unicorns. And I saw this one pop up from someone. There we go. Long version? Short version?
I think this is the long version. Yeah, this is the long version.
That's no. Aye, it's delicious, but that's no.
But that's not rugby league goat.
Good to have it back. I missed the goat. Should we play it again? Let's play the intro again.
You want to do it
I
again?
missed
Okay.
it.
I think this is the long version.
It could be the long version. We've got the short version?
No.
I don't know if we have the short version.
No. Aye, it's delicious, but that's no.
But that's not rugby league goat there, Greeno.
Goat. Now, if bit of backstory, a bit of open the kimono. The joke we keep on making about the short version is we used to have so many, but that's not rugby leagues.
Yes.
In our rundown,
We couldn't play the
that-
intro all the time.
we couldn't play the intro, so we literally just had the goat, and that was the short version.
It was just.
And
I
we
think
had
it
to
was.
come
I
up-
think it was siren and then goat.
Fire and then goat, and that was the short version. But there was that many, but that's not rugby leagues because they used to just consume regular media. We needed to cut down it because it's like, dude, we can't keep playing the fucking
You used to
intro
get.
every week.
3 or 4, but that's not rugby leagues a week just from Big Sports Breakfast, Greeno on 2K.
I was getting 10 a week from that. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
Jimmy
especially
Smith
when
would
Jimmy
do
Smith was
6
on.
episodes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it'd be 6 an episode. We had a tally board. There was literally a tally board where I was keeping
That's
count
right.
of but that's not rugby leagues.
Yes.
And Jimmy Smith won the inaugural prize with like 68 rugby league.
And which was a
references in
shock
non-rugby
to
league.
us in the studio because we thought TK was going to take it out
TK.
like without question.
100%. He was second. He
Yeah,
was second with
he was.
50 odd. It was brutal listening. Big Sports Breakfast. But the buzzard, our old favorite,
Phil
was back
Rothfield.
this week. I saw someone retweet this into my timeline, which
Mm-hmm.
annoyed me because I had to see the buzzard stuff. But I'm like, oh, but that's not rugby league. Women's cricket. This is his tweet. Women's cricket needs a challenge system like the men. Meg Lanning out LBW. She clearly hit the bat. Even NRL bunker would have picked that up.
Nice, Gary!
Well done, buzzard. Well done. Got to get some NRL.
Oh,
references in there.
but that's not rugby league right there.
We'd have it back.
But that's
is, isn't
no.
it? It's a long
But
version.
that's no.
Especially in the NRL off season,
But that's
they go
no.
berserk with them. I might have to listen just for this show. Like subject myself to like an hour of Big Sports Breakfast.
You wouldn't need an
Just,
hour. You wouldn't need an hour. Just 10 minutes will do. 10 minutes a week. You'll get 3 or 4, but that's not rugby leagues, Greeno, in 10. Usually in the first half an hour of the show during the off season, when it's like cricket. Cricket is a big rugby league referencer. Motorsport,
100%.
They'll talk about rugby league for some God knows what reason. So yeah. 10 minutes at the start of the show.
That'll do.
Yeah.
When I light week, I'll just listen to 10 minutes. We'll get it covered.
Yeah.
Before we get to the last thing, Damo, I saw this pop up in my emails this week from the Australian Podcast Awards. Remember those awards where you have to pay to be nominated for the awards?
Yes, that's right.
Good news, Damo. Yeah, now they're offering us at the block a chance to win a free podcast mentoring session.
Wow, really? Hang on, a podcast mentoring session. Hang on. So if we qualify for the best podcast award, why are they now selling us like tutoring session? Because I thought we'd already been kind of placed on the approval list for the best podcast award if we cough up the cash.
Cough up the coin.
Yeah.
Nah, exactly. But here's the thing. They've teamed up with iHeartRadio.
Oh,
and a chance to win an Empire. So are you? Here's the email I got. Are you looking for some tips and advice to take your podcast to the next level?
Really?
Well, what next level? Like the award-winning level? We just fork over some coin.
Well, we're pretty big in Vietnam, so I would suggest the next level is probably Cambodia.
Yeah. Register here for your chance to win a private 30-minute mentoring session with some of the most experienced leaders in the podcast industry.
You know what, though? Maybe we should consider this, because wouldn't it be cool to send them a clip of our show where it's like, fuck you, and like racist.
How many fucks? How many fucks am I allowed to have?
Talking about 1980s Eddie Murphy and, you know, that kind
I get the niggas back.
That's right. So now mentor me.
Yeah. How do you reckon I can get this to rate higher in Vietnam?
How do you reckon we can take this to the next fucking level?
Fuck this. All right. I'm registering. I'm definitely registering for this. I'll do it. I'll do it during the week.
Let's see what they say.
Here you go. In these sessions, you get personalized feedback on your podcast.
Really?
Yes. From the industry's leading experts.
That's going to be amazing.
The session will cover topics like format, host presentation, monetization, and audience growth strategies. You'll come out of the meeting with clear guidance on what's working. Register here. Now, what do you reckon that we get charged to register for this? I'm going to click on it now. Let's have a look.
All right. I'm going to say, for some reason, I'm picturing 3 figures. So I'm going to say like it's going to be like $1.99 or $2.99 or something like that. You know what I mean?
All right. So nothing here, but it does. Okay. So full name, email address, phone number, name of your podcast, link to the podcast genre, personal journals. Excellent. Tell us about your podcast. Well, I'll put the blurb in about fucking perfect strangers.
Yes.
Too many fucks. One question you need to ask your mentors. What would it be? Do you go to the bathroom next to your partner? That would be my question. Would you like to be contacted about future opportunities? No, we wouldn't.
Future opportunities? Excellent. Don't we want to get the future opportunities, Greeno?
That means we get flooded with spam in our inbox, sir. I don't want to deal with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very good.
Well,
right,
that's
register
the cost.
for that.
That's the cost of being the greatest podcast, as per the award, Greeno. You know, a lot of people want to get in touch with you and sell you things.
Actually, no, that's a good question. If there's one question you'd ask the mentors, what would it be? Is it appropriate to charge people to be nominated for an award? That would be my question.
Nice, Gary!
I'll do that.
Absolutely.
I'll do that during the week.
Yes.
Let's see if we win. I don't like our chances.
Okay.
I really don't like our chances.
No.
MLB Statman Serta in the week.
I'm a scat man.
Final week of the regular MLB season was last week. Wasn't it a cracker? The Giants end up setting a record for their club. 18. Oh, no, this wasn't just the club. This is all of MLB ever. 18 pinch hit homers over the course of the season. That's the most ever in MLB history.
I saw you were tweeting your tits off during the game, Greeno. Was that you? I was noticing, talking about the Giants, and next thing then I saw all the videos, all the celebration videos from the locker room.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that sounds like me.
Yeah.
Well, that was quick Greeno story time.
Yeah.
So
I like stories about pinatas.
We won 107 games this season, but it took us till the last day to lock down the division because the Dodgers just happened to be in a division. They won 106 games, so we need to win the last game of the year.
I was going to say, how filthy would you be that you had a 106 game winning season and didn't win the division? You would be fucking pissed.
Exactly. Both the Giants and Dodgers would have won every other division by over 6 games.
That's incredible.
So just insane. So anyway, Monday morning, woke up and I was so nervous I couldn't even watch the game. I needed to know we were ahead by a fair bit before I could watch. So it was like 8 because all the games start on the final day at the exact same time.
That's like the Premier League does that too. The last game.
Yeah, so people can't rest players and stuff.
Well, and you've also got you got live ladder situations. So if you know everyone plays that last game, they don't know the outcome. Whereas if you know that you can't make it the next day or whatever, you're like, who gives a fuck? And then
spot on.
The punters.
Exactly
that's when the
reason.
punters get angry, Greeno, because they're like, well, if you're not playing to win, why am I losing money here? You know, so
exactly.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened, and basically, Giants were ahead like 11-1, I think, when I turned it on. Well, I saw the score. I'm like, okay, I can breathe easy. It's like 8 a.m. So I went and got a beer and went back into bed. My wife looked at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, fucking
Drinking
This is history.
8 a.m. beers in bed.
I'm like, this is history. It's a fucking Monday public holiday.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm using up one of my fucks there.
Yeah.
It's Monday morning.
Life's good. We've got a shed that needs to be finished out the back.
To be finished, yeah. But I'm about to watch the Giants win their the first time they've won the division I've ever witnessed it, because I've been a fan since 2012. But I only started really watching the Giants week in, week out from 2013. The last time they won the division was 2012. So I've never seen my team win the division. We did it. We set a record for the most amount of wins ever by a San Francisco team. So I'm like, I'm gonna fucking celebrate. This is the beer. Ready, sitting there to celebrate. And then the Padres scored 4 runs pretty quickly, or 3 runs pretty quickly. I'm like, man, don't get jinxing it. Thankfully, I was able to sit there, enjoy my beer because we got the win.
Nice, Gary!
I did get a filthy look though, drinking a Budweiser at 8 a.m. in bed whilst watching a baseball game. But I'm like, public holiday.
Public holiday, baby. Let's get tanked.
Blue Jays won. So every single 4 of the American League East teams have 90 wins. Since the divisional play began in 1969, it's only the second time ever a division has had 4 90-win teams. Last time was in 1978. You had Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Marcus Semien are the 4th different pair of MLB teammates in MLB history to each hit 45 home runs in the same season. Some of those names that exist, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig had 2 of the 5.
There you go.
Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle were also another one in the record-setting season of 1961. And then you had Juices, Rodriguez and Palmeiro, and Juices, Ramirez and Ortiz in 05.
Juices.
Drug cheats and fucking some of the greatest ever.
So is there an asterisk next to the drug cheats? Because they're kind of weird with stuff like that. Like, you know.
There's not in this tweet I copied, but
Okay.
there's definitely an asterisk next to those records, considering Ramirez and Ortiz were both implicated by drugs and one tested positive.
Yep.
Rodriguez was definitely a juicer, and actually so was Palmeiro. So,
But he never. One of them never got caught though, right?
well, one of them tested positive.
Yeah.
But he tested positive during a period where they said, "Hey, we're going to test you guys, but no one gets suspended." So
Really?
the guys were still using drugs, but yeah, he got popped, but he didn't get suspended for it. So it's technically not a conviction, but it came out years later that, he tested positive.
Wow. I've
the
said
guy-
it before.
the
Sorry, Greeno. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
When everyone on drugs.
I believe in my heart of hearts. This is not a joke. This is not a bit. I'm not doing this for entertainment. My genuine belief is they should legalize all performance enhancing drugs in sport. From the fucking get-go, Green.
Nice, Gary!
Because we'll save millions and millions and millions of dollars on testing for them, and I want to see 8-foot tall fucking bionic supermen running the 100 meters in 3 seconds, and I think everybody would. So like,
Who wouldn't want to see that?
Exactly. So let the athletes, if they want to, let them juice their bodies to the point of where they die of a heart attack at the age of 29. Like, if that's what they want to do, if they want to have glory, beforehand, if they want to be a sporting icon that's remembered forever and run the 100 meters in 3 seconds, then, let them juice up. We'll enjoy it. And for the ones who don't juice, or perhaps just juice a little bit, Greeno, we can think of them as like the Rudies in the sporting event. And we'll root for them, and the big juiced up guys will be like, well, I'm not running the 100 meters if you don't let Rudy run, and they'll come in and they'll hand in their needles to the coach.
Yeah.
Look, here's my shit. I'm not taking any more juice until you let little Rudy.
Little Rudy run the 100 in 14 seconds.
Yeah, like a fucking, everybody will be standing around having a cup of coffee by the time he finishes.
Like Eric the Eel.
Yeah, that's Eric the Eel. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's
Statman.
Yeah.
Dodgers tied a franchise record. Dodgers came second. They tied their franchise record of 106 wins. Finished second. No team in MLB history has ever won more games and not finished in first place in their divisional league. At 20 years of age and 220 days, Wander Franco is the youngest player in postseason history with multiple hits in his playoff debut.
Wander Franco. Wander Franco.
Randy Rosarina today set a record by becoming the first player in history to hit a home run and steal home base in the same postseason game.
There you go.
Did stop home in a postseason game today. Unbelievable. That dude, I'm a big fan of Randy.
There's a little bit of Willie Mays haze about him, Greeno.
Definitely a bit of Willie Mays Hayes. This dude last year, he got the nickname some motherfucker named Randy because this guy is just unbelievable. Like real kind of like no-name player that plays for the Rays. It was a rookie this year technically, but he got caught up late last year. And he set the record for most postseason home runs, and he just went berserk and basically almost single-handedly beat the Yankees last year. So someone tweeted going, are we seriously, the Yankees seriously going to get beaten by some motherfucker named Randy? So they ran with it as some promotional. So he started wearing shirts like some motherfucker named Randy.
That's incredible. Just own
so
it.
he's
Embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. It was
some
so good.
motherfucker named Randy. Love it.
Yeah. So this is the greatest stat man ever. I'm calling it. I'm putting it out there.
Okay.
This is the greatest stat man in the history of the show. Did you know in the Seattle Mariners' 44 years of existence, they've experienced more ruptured testicles, 5, than playoff appearances, 4?
Nice, Gary!
If you can find a better stat than that,
That's a good
I will
stat.
eat my hat.
That's a good stat. That's a fucking perfect stat and a great way to end the show tonight, Greeno, because I love those. Those are the stats that get me most excited about stats, Greeno. I love that shit.
They're the best stats available. Tomorrow, before we go, is the greatest day in the baseball calendar because 4 a.m. playoff baseball starts, 4 p.m. playoff baseball ends.
Wow.
I've got 12 hours straight of 4 straight back-to-back-to-back playoff games, and that's if the games go 3 hours. They're not going to go 3 hours. They're going to go way longer.
Right.
It's so once again, it's 4 a.m. Budweiser's tomorrow. I've already told the wife, leave me alone. Take care of the kids. She's got a dentist appointment, which is a bit fucking inconvenient for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, couldn't she have considered your plans before making these appointments with the dentist, Greeno?
Especially for Super Saturday of baseball playoffs. It's the only time there's 4. Technically, there might be one more day this year. But
and look how much you're sacrificing here. You've said very few fucks tonight.
I've cut the fucks way down, I must admit.
And
Like,
she
it's
can't
pretty much
even
been a
help you out.
fuck-free podcast.
And she can't even help you out by looking after the kids and waiting on your hand and foot while you fucking feed your face and sink piss watching baseball for 12 hours, starting at 4 a.m. I mean, what a selfish woman.
Minimum 12 hours.
Minimum 12
It's very
hours.
inconvenient. Like, I know, like, admittedly, dental hygiene is important, but is it more important than me sinking piss for 12 hours?
Surely
watching
not.
Baseball?
Surely not. We don't live. I mean, we're living in a fucking society here, Greeno. You know, people should act.
I miss the old
civilized.
days.
Yeah,
I miss the old days, Damo. You know, equality, it has its drawbacks.
it certainly does. Why didn't we think about these things? You're going to need to get on the nose beers at 4 a.m. Regular beers won't be good enough. You'll have to get on the nose beers, mate.
The nose Budweisers.
The nose
at 4
buds.
a.m. kick me through the 12 hours of baseball.
Start you off on the right foot.
Yeah.
Honey, I don't have a drinking problem. Plugs.
I'm all good.
Follow Greeno at the starting block, one word, drop the K at the end. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. Follow our friends. I'm doing a show, Daily Boogie, tomorrow, 6 p.m. East Coast time, Greeno. So,
actually, quick thing before we go. Just something popped up in Twitter as I go. Who do you think's hotter between Sigourney Weaver and Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I agree.
I've never been a Sigourney Weaver fan.
I'm the same, but yeah, there's some very sultry shots that's celebrating her birthday today for some reason that are popping up on my Twitter feed. But I'm with you, Jamie Lee all the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much of a choice, like either way. It's not, I wouldn't seek either out, given the option, but anyway.
Anyway, the Boogie's back tomorrow. Good to hear.
Yeah, just a one-off.
Big show?
I
like
don't know.
You got a long show planned, or?
Well, I don't know. We'll see how we go. I don't know how long it's going to go for. I might be 45 minutes and I go, all right, that's it. I'm out of here. I got to do something else. I'm going to go put a shed together. So I'll see you later. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, we're just going to feel it out. So that'll be tomorrow. Follow me at BoogieBumper. That's it. Till next week, Greeno.
See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals.
We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you